Hey there, everybody. It's David H. Lawrence, the 17th, and I want to continue with this series of really great tips on networking for performers. This came from an article that was written by MOO, which is the company I buy my business cards from and my other corporate printed materials, postcards and stickers and things like that. I love MOO. Love the MOO cards. I got a link for MOO below the video. This second tip is one that's kind of near and dear to my heart because I have a problem remembering people's names. And yet, I am pretty militant about making sure that people call me David and not Dave or Davy, or I guess that's all there are in terms of variants. But if you've got a problem remembering people's names, I've got some tips for you. They've helped me, and I think they might help you. When you go to an event and you meet new people, we get kind of anxious about the fact that they're giving us their names. Do we remember them? What do we call them? We meet them, and then 2 seconds later, we don't remember their name. And here's a couple of tips that you can use to help you do that. They've helped me. One is meet and greet, meet and repeat, and then repeat again. So you meet somebody, you greet them, you ask them their name, and then you repeat their name, right? But here's the thing. That'll help you, but what will really help you is if you repeat it again in a sentence that says, okay, so Bob, what do you do? Or what do you hope to get out of this event? Or using their name in the sentence. So meet and repeat again. That second repeating really helps to solidify it because you're saying it, you're making a habit of it. And here's one thing that's kind of a hidden thing. Sometimes I'll say, how do you spell that? And if it's Bob, obviously you don't want to say it B-O-B. Can you spell that? You don't want to ask then. But if it's something that's a little out of the ordinary, or something that's multiple syllables, or something that's got a national feel to it, like from a foreign country. But here's the other thing that I do that I think is really kind of sneaky, but it works. And that is when I say, what's your name? And they say, oh, my name's Bob. And like, oh, Bob, you prefer Bob? Or do you you like Robert or Rob or Robbie? When you ask that, you're doing two things. Number one, you're reinforcing their name. They like Bob. Okay, Bob, got it. And number two, you are saying variants of it in a way that you can rule out what they don't like, what they don't prefer. Like when somebody says to me, oh, how's Dave? No, I prefer David. Thank you very much. But it's that moment when you can really isolate their name, and all of this stuff helps. Because as you continue the conversation, if every so often, not every time, I've seen people do this where they say the person's name every time. Well, yes, David. Oh, okay. All right. I get that you're trying to memorize my name, but you're making it obvious and it's kind of like distracting. Every so often, repeat their name. And there's a reason for this. Dale Carnegie wrote a great book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. I'm sure you've heard of it. But he says in that book, a person's name to that person is the sweetest, most important sound in any language. And think about it. When somebody says your name and you're able to go, yes, can I help you? What's up? Going on? Hey, what's happening? It's great. And especially when people remember your name. And if you can do this, if you can just put those two tips into play, you'll be able to remember their name not only then, but also later on at the party when you come back around and you see them for say, hey, how's it going, Bob? And at other events that you'll see them at. So I hope this helps. These are some great tips. I've got a few more coming up for you in upcoming videos. And the fact is that we as performers are constantly meeting and greeting people. We do red carpets and we do auditions and we do cattle calls and we do open calls and we do callbacks and we do set work and we do table reads. We do all kinds of things where we're meeting people, not to mention those events where we're just networking to gain leads, to find new people to include in our sphere of influence and things like that. So I hope they're helping you. If you'd like to be on my list and get notified when these videos come out, they're coming out every day, what the new video is. There's a box below this video that says get on the list. Go ahead and get on the list. And also, if you want to be, yeah, that's it. Just get on the list. I don't need to tell you anything more than that. Oh, if you want to comment on what I've said, if you've got a tip or a trick for remembering people's names, I'd love to know what it is, especially if it's one of those things that doesn't call attention to itself. Tell me in the comments below, or tell me if like you just have a facility for remembering names and what your secret is. I'd love to know what that is. I'm David H. Lawrence, the 17th. I thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you tomorrow.